What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we are going to address the topic of Shiba Inu and all of the predictions, FOMO, and madness that has been going on in the last, say, couple of months with the buildup of the Shibarium and these grandiose predictions of price getting to 50 cents per token. And we're going to first look at the chart, break it down and see what the chart says. And then I'm going to crunch some interesting numbers with you so we can make a level-headed analysis and see if such grandiose price predictions are anywhere within the realm of possibility. But before I begin, I want you to really understand that this is not financial advice. Anything I say or present in this video can or will cause you to become a homeless bum living on the side of the river in a box subsiding on government cheese. But I will also add that I'm not a financial advisor, but you need to get one. And you might also need to get a psychiatrist or psychologist to help you with your thinking if you really do believe that Shiba Inu could hit 50 cents per token. Let's just start out with the chart here on the 1 day. It's exciting. Shiba Inu is just pumping. We've got this nice little bullish movement since June where we're moving up above the 200 EMA and above the 50 EMA line. We're above all of these nodes. We're at the top of these nodes on the VPVR, which is volume profile visible range. This shows all of the volume of trading going on at a particular price. Point of control price being at point tons of zeros 8. So that's exciting. Everybody is really excited about this movement. So we're going to see what the charts say about where it could go from here. But in order to do that, we need to look at the 1 week chart so we can compare that to this nice movement on the stochastic as it's trending upwards, which with each full cycle and the bullish MACD. But what does this look like on the 1 week chart? Well, it's quite different. So let's crunch this down so we can see all of the price action. Where Shiba Inu comes out of the box here, consolidates, and then we had that massive movement way up here at the all-time high. And since then, it's been in distribution mode. And we have nothing but lower highs. Here's our peak, and then we had catastrophic failure here. It bounced back up. We had a lower high. And then it moved on down again. We had another movement up at this stochastic peak, lower high. We had a full cycle down. We come back up nearly to a stochastic peak cycle and another lower high. And we're sitting right dead on the point of control price of point many zeros and a 1. And we already see that the stochastic is up here. Not to say that it can't stay up here and bounce up and down, which it could. And it could also peak out and then have a full cycle back down again. So this chart kind of would take us through the end of the year if we have a full cycle down, which says that this might be nothing more than a lower high right here. Although the MACD appears to be cycling up. If we scrunch this down, we see that first big surge up. And then since then, it is leveled off. So here's the first big wave, and then each additional wave is smaller and smaller. So based on this 1 week chart, it doesn't look like there is a guarantee. Anything can happen, and it can surge out from here and maybe come down and then go boom. But I don't have the evidence showing me that this is a guarantee. And so for me, I'm just holding my little bag of SHIB, and then we'll just save it for the future, and if something happens, great, we'll unload it and take profits. But let's crunch numbers and talk about these fantastic price predictions, saying that Shiba Inu is going to hit 50 cents per token because of the Shibarium, which is its own blockchain. It's kind of comparing to other projects that have their ability to do their own level 2, what have you. And this is what all of the excitement is about, because Shiba Inu moved from a mere meme coin to something that could have utility, so to say, as we could launch different projects and coins on the Shiba Inu blockchain. Okay, now I made a nice little chart here on Excel, and we're going to show you some different things, and this might look confusing, but let me explain what we are looking at. First of all, I wanted to show you what would happen if we do reverse splits, which are the devil. We know that there's a circulating supply of 589 trillion, which is just ridiculous. And to me, when you have a circulating supply that high, we need to do a scenario where we do reverse splits to show you what the real value is. So in other words, instead of starting with a reasonable supply, say like Bitcoin has 21 million, we're in 589 trillion, which is what, half a quadrillion? That's just kind of absurd thinking about it. So I want to compare this to other projects with reasonable supplies to show you what the value is, and to prove a point that all we're doing by creating this massive circulating supply is to make you think that this project is cheap, so I can get a big pile of tokens and feel like I'm a Shiba Inu millionaire holding millions and millions of coins. Well, starting out here with the ratio of 1-to-1, where we sit right now at 589 million, and the last time I checked, the price was 0.000097. So we have 5 zeros ahead of the price point to make it look like you can really scoop this stuff up for dirt cheap. Now, we have recently moved to 0.00001, but this is close enough where I'm going to leave this at the price point it was when I created this table, because it probably is going to move back down into this range of the 5 zeros and the 97. When you do a reverse split, you basically cut down the circulating supply and increase the price to give you an equivalent amount. So if we did a 100-to-1 reverse, that would take the circulating supply down to 5.89 trillion, and the price would be 0.00097. Now, I generally don't invest into projects with circulating supplies in the trillions. So that wouldn't satisfy me that this is reasonable and not just a silly little mental ploy to get you to scoop up these cheap coins because it's so cheap to buy. Well, what if we did a 1,000-to-1 reverse split? That means that for every 1,000 tokens, you would get 1, and then we would move the decimal place over 3 times to an equivalent price of 0.0097. So if you had 1,000 Shiba Inu tokens, coins, then you would have a price of 0.0097. Still ridiculous because it's not even at 1 cent. Well, what if we did a 10,000-to-1 reverse split? That means if you had 10,000 Shiba Inu coins, you would end up with 1, but we would raise the price from 0.5097 to 9.7 cents. So it's starting to get a little bit more reasonable, but I still don't buy into projects with a circulating supply that high. Well, let's try a 100,000-to-1 reverse split. That means that if you held 100,000 Shiba Inu coins, you would have 1, but then it would be worth 97 cents or $1. Still way too big of a supply for anything that I would be interested in. But what if we did a 1 million to 1 reverse split? That means for someone like me who I've got 10 million Shiba Inu coins, that would mean that I've got 10 at a price of $9.70 each. So 589 million. That's reasonable. I've got some projects where the circulating supply is 1 to 2 billion on the top end, which is kind of, reasonable. Maybe we need that high circulating supply so we can encourage lots of trading activity and using that coin or token for doing transactions. Now, what if we did a 10 million to 1 reverse split? So for me, with my 10 million tokens that I have, I would have one at a price of $97. Okay? So that kind of puts it in perspective. So while we're tricking you into thinking you can get piles of this for cheap with this huge circulating supply of 589 trillion, if it had a circulating supply of 58.9 million, the price point is $97. So now we can compare that to other projects that have similar circulating supplies. But what if we compared this to Bitcoin? Bitcoin has 21 million in the total supply. Not all of that has been mined, so the circulating supply is less than that, but we'll just take it on up to the full total supply of Bitcoin. You would have to do a reverse split of 28,047,619 to 1. And that would leave the price of one Shiba Inu coin at $272.06. Now, comparing that to Bitcoin, which is currently at $29,000 as we speak, that means that your Shiba Inu token at an equivalent circulating supply would be about 1/90th of the value of Bitcoin. So while you're scooping up all these dirt cheap 0.000097 coins, you could turn around and buy some Bitcoin where you could at least do the mental math and have a better idea immediately of what your value is. And so for Shiba Inu to really move up and give you greater value than Bitcoin, it would have to make moves when you compare the Shiba Inu value in terms of BTC. It would have to move up at a higher rate than Bitcoin to make it give you a better return than if you just bought Bitcoin in the first place. In other words, that means Shiba Inu would have to outperform Bitcoin in terms of the Bitcoin price to be a better investment than Bitcoin itself. So, food for thought. Keep that in mind. Now, let's just look at the price of Shiba Inu as it sits right now and at the current circulating supply of $589 trillion. The next point that I'm going to make is something that I had this idea that was sparked from what's the fella's name that does the YouTube channel talking about finance, stocks, and crypto. What is his name? I'll think of his name. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now as I'm talking. But at any rate, what he did, he compared the circulating supply and the market capitalization, which means that you would multiply the price, the current price, by the circulating supply to get this fictitious value of what its market capitalization value is at the current moment. And what we would have to do is first, let's just pop over here to CoinMarketCap and we're looking, or CoinGecko, and we're looking at Shiba Inu right here that has a market capitalization right now today at 6.3 billion. That's a lot. And then we want to find out, well, what would that market capitalization be if it did move up to 50 cents per coin? which is what the current FOMO, what they're saying right now, that we could hit 50 cents because of Shibarium and the coin burn, how we burn the tokens, and they're trying to reduce that circulating supply. Now, forget the fact that the total supply is 999 billion. It's encroaching. It's just below 1 quadrillion. But with that total supply there being almost just a little bit less than half of the circulating, they could dump more tokens into the circulating supply to raise money for the project. Now, they are burning tokens, and I don't think they have any plans on dumping more into the circulating supply. But let's get back to the point, which I'm going to make here on the table. If Shiba Inu hit 50 cents, then the market capitalization at the current circulating supply would end up being $294,668,800,081. So, can it hit that? Well, maybe if the whole wide world decides that we're going to pump every dollar that we make in the gross domestic product of every country and dump that into Shiba Inu, then by goodness, it could hit that price point. How much will that cost? Well, let's look at the world GDP over the last 3 years. In the year 2020, the gross domestic product of the world, everything that was produced during that year, was 85 trillion, 215 billion. Well, actually, I think I've got that number wrong. $85 billion, I think is what I meant. I might have left off some zeros. Let's see. That's in the billions. That's correct. So 85 billion. And the gross domestic product of the entire world of every country in 2021 rose to 96,882,400,000. In 2022, we went above 100 billion. So the gross domestic product of the world in 2022 was $100,562,000,000 total. Now, we said the market cap of Shiba Inu to hit 50 cents would be 294,668,000,000, or I'm sorry, that's trillion, 294,668,000,068,800,081. I left off some zeros here. But at any rate, let's just go to the website here and check to see if I've got that number right, because in all this FOMO, I don't know if I'm getting this completely correct. All right, so world GDP for 2022 was, it is billion, 100 billion. So let's go back to the table. I did have that number right after all. So we're saying that in 3 years, the world produced this number, gross domestic product, $282 billion. But in order for Shiba Inu to hit 50 cents, that means that the market capitalization would be 294 trillion. Which means that the world GDP for 3 years straight, if we dumped every bit of money that the world was producing in growth, it would be 1/10 of the market cap of Shiba Inu if it hit 50 cents. Now, I'll wait a few minutes while the Shiba Inu experts explain to me how we would manage to pump this price up to 50 cents, even though the market capitalization is not a real number. But do you really think that Shiba Inu could grow to a market capitalization that is 10 times greater than the combination of the world's GDP of every country for the past 3 years? I guess the Shibarium is really going to be a monumental project. Well, maybe if we can get some other planetary systems to pump money into SHIB from their gross domestic planetary products, maybe it could hit that point. Well, you can see why I'm not too positive or excited about the prospect of Shiba Inu hitting 50 cents, much less breaking out of this ugly 1 week chart right here, that it would just soar straight up, eclipsing the all-time high and going straight to the moon. I think it would have to go to Saturn or maybe Uranus. It would have to go to Uranus in order to reach that market capitalization into the trillions to hit that price point of 50 cents. I think we can stop there because I've answered my questions, but if I've got this wrong or if I've done the math wrong, you can correct me in the comments, and maybe I'll get excited about this and pump some more money into Shiba Inu. And until then, I'm just going to sit back and watch the show. So I'm done with this explanation, and that's all I can do for you. But I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you would like to help support the growth of this channel, you may do so with the giving of a super thanks to help me to defray the costs of production. And until our next video, I've got lots of things to talk about I will be sharing with you. That's all for now. This is Carlton, and I am out.